Hello, welcome to Series 2, Episode 3 of the Sakai Pilots podcast, except it's the other way round.
Yep, Season 3, Episode 2.
I knew that. Do you know what? As I was saying it, I knew I'd fucked up.
Yeah, I like that you tried to get the 3 in there, just like, if I say 3...
There's some numbers and some letters and orders and, you do the rest. Ooh, you want us to do fucking everything now, do you? Oh, that's how it is.
Is this all off the back of you saying, oh, maybe I could edit some of the podcasts?
Shut up.
I've only been editing them all for like 2 years. It's your turn.
I genuinely don't think I've edited one of the Co-Pilots podcast. I definitely think I did some of the other one we did. But
yeah,
not
no, yeah, you
this.
did some of the...
we need a fucking name cast.
Yeah.
That's what we called it.
That was bad. That was a bad podcast.
It was alright. I enjoyed it.
It was good for like a first crack at it.
Yeah, just to warm ourselves up for this.
Yeah. Took like, what did we do? We recorded like 6 or 7
6 of them, I think, yeah.
And then just went, you know what, this is... Because, we were recording it each week and we were just like, we don't really, neither of us do enough.
Well, at that point, we didn't do enough anyway.
Yeah, so we just went, what we'll do, we'll just watch some TV. Then we'll talk about it every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm struggling to stay awake. So, this episode 2 of Series 3, we are going to be talking about How to Get Away with Murder and Quantico. 2 shows which I had to double check that I hadn't made a mistake and wasn't watching the same show again. Because they are...
The flash forward thing.
Yeah, it's that. It's the fact that there's like a school with some new trainee people and they're starting to learn how to do stuff. And there's an event that is going to be leading up to, and then it's all about the... what's it called? When you look over, it's like your retrospective of what's happened over the last year or however long. It was bizarre how similar they were. Like, I know we try and get them similar. Did you know how similar they were in theme?
Yes.
Oh, okay then.
I didn't realise. I knew that they were both people learning shows.
Yeah.
But that's it. And I was just like, oh, one's like FBI stuff and the other's lawyers. Like, it's a good pairing anyway.
Yeah.
But then when I sat down to watch Quantico and I went, oh, they're so samey.
Extremely samey. But with one key difference, one of them's really good, the other one's a TV show.
Yep.
Okay.
Should we just get straight into Quantico?
Okay then.
I think we agree on which one the bad one is.
Yeah, definitely. So let's do Quantico on that note. Right. What's Quantico then?
FBI Training Academy. So it opens with the aftermath of the massive explosion at Grand Central Station.
Yes.
New York. Focusing very much on one of the trainees just going, we want you to think it's her that did it. And so then it flashes back, like flashes all the way back to her on, I think, leaving home.
Yep, that's it.
And instantly lying to her parents.
Mother.
Yeah.
Crucially, her dad absent.
Yes. So it flashes back to that, and then her on the plane. And then, did you know when she's banging that guy?
Yes.
That she meets on the plane?
Yes.
Were you sat there just going, he's going to be in the academy?
Yep.
Like, it was
completely.
I never doubted it for a second. I was like, oh no, it's going to be really awkward when they both show up in the same place.
Because it's got to be that, isn't it? It's got to be. They had to do that. In fact, there's another show that we'll talk about next week or next fortnight. Where that happens again.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I wasn't going to mention it. I was going to mention it.
All right then.
Do you remember the last time we were talking about this when it happened again? But I feel like it could actually be an interesting story.
Yeah. Go on.
Without the flashbacks and without the flash forwards.
And without the central woman.
Yeah, I feel like they did kind of focus on her too much. I feel like it'd be more interesting if they just sort of went, here's a bunch of different characters, here's a bunch of different perspectives. What would be even better is if they just sort of went, here's one sequence of events and here are like 5 or 6 perspectives of it. But instead of doing it like all at the same time, do it one a week. Different character every week for like 13 weeks and then just go, and then an episode that just sort of reveals it.
Yeah.
Because I thought with this, the flash forwards and flashbacks, it wasn't like just something sort of going like, hey, also this happened that explains why this is happening. So it was like there were 2 equal stories happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Rather than one that had quite clearly happened before.
The trouble with it's with any sort of prequel or anything that's set before another event that you've seen is you sort of have an idea of where it's going, which makes me struggle to engage with it as much.
Yeah, the trouble is, I think the question you're meant to ask is how, rather than so sort of why has this happened and how has it happened.
Yeah. Equally,
but the difference is with a massive bomb, you're sort of going, well, I kind of get how that happened.
Yeah.
There was at some point a bomb there, and it went bang.
and then suddenly there wasn't.
And the why is just, oh, it's a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
The who isn't the important thing in that, because you're like, oh, it's clearly someone we've already met. So, it doesn't matter. But with the difference in How to Get Away with Murder is they've, like, there's actually some, like, juxtaposition there with, like, saying, like, look how happy and fucking innocent these, like, law school kids are. And then going, but they are, you can see they're definitely, one of them has murdered someone. You don't know who it is. And it's not even until right at the end of the episode you know who's been murdered. So I think that's the difference in how they've used the flashbacks and stuff.
What's interesting, I've just read a little thing saying it was intended that Quantico was going to be an ensemble piece, so and Alex was going to be the lead character in it, but after she was cast, she becomes the main character of it. So it was only because she was in it that stopped it from being a group thing, which I think, you know, that would make it potentially slightly more interesting. But the real issue I had was I just didn't care. I just didn't care about any of them. I didn't like any of them. I didn't think they were decent enough people.
Like my second note is not many interesting characters.
No, and the reveal with the I can't remember the character's name, but there's a character who turns out to be one of the set of twins, and I called that right away from when he said, "Oh, you've got your hijab pinned to the left today, and the other day it was to the right. Is that some sort of cultural significance?" I was like, right, fucking twin, isn't she?
Yeah, and then but you know that's there to make you think, oh, it was probably one of you. But
What do you mean?
To sort of lead you to go, oh, there's, well, they're lying. There's pretending there's one of them, but there's 2.
Oh, just
clearly
to cast some
one of them's a
shade.
terrorist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
felt like it was trying to give everyone a reason to have done it.
And I just didn't believe any of them.
No, but like with the attempted murder-suicide right in the middle of the episode, how quickly did you notice that he had a real gun and not the red handle that they mentioned like 6 or 7 times?
Instantly. As soon as he was walking down, I was like, well,
as soon as he was walking into the room,
I know
I
what's
was like,
happening.
that handle's not red. Well, even when he was going to hand in the gun, I was like, he's either going to pull it now or not hand that.
Yeah. It's like there's subtle ways of doing things like that. Like, and it's been it's been a month now. We're all over it. But in Last Jedi, when Luke suddenly has a blue lightsaber again, I didn't notice because I was so caught up in it. And granted, Luke Skywalker is a character that I've loved for about 20 years. So, it was quite a big moment for him. But I didn't notice that. But looking at his... there's a particular shot where they're both walking into the corridor, and you can see that the other guy's got his red-handled gun, which signifies that it's only a training thing that's not loaded. And in the same shot, the other chap who ends up killing himself is walking behind, and he's got a black-handled gun. It's the most obvious thing. So you know how that story's going to end. It's
not even the fact that... because if they hadn't sort of talked it up, if they sort of in the beginning, in passing, like with one of those sort of, oh, you need to do this, this, and this at the start, sort of like, oh, make sure you've always got like the red handle one on you, like, or just saying like, here's what you've been given, like, and someone just goes, oh, I'm passing, like, oh, it's just a fake handle, like that would be fine because I'd probably just go, oh, I don't care, and then for it to be like oh, that's actually an important thing. Maybe, but also, how did no one else notice?
I don't know. You'd think that the fucking FBI would notice a glaring mistake like that, particularly seeing as like they're being projected to a classroom full of students.
And also, just the people who, I don't know, because they're clearly going to a desk to hand in their weapon. So he's just gonna like get to the front of the queue and just leave, like. Actually, no. This is my weapon now, and no one's going to call him out on it. But I think this is just one of many problems with Quantico.
In absolute fairness to Quantico, the scene or the sequence right at the end where they arrest, I can't remember. It's Alex Parrish, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Once they've arrested her, that whole sequence where she's put in the van and it turns out to be one of her other teachers, and she helps her escape, that bit I thought was actually quite good.
Yeah, I'm actually more interested in the teachers than I am in the students.
Yeah, exactly.
They seem like they've got a more interesting story.
They seem like they're fucking human. Not like I really feel like the students are like just vapid shells of,
I
sketches
like
of what their character's supposed to be.
Yeah, I felt a lot of them were just not, like, just slightly above lazy stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like, not much above that.
Did you feel like they were there for... Did you feel like there was some sort of checklist that was like, right, we need to look like we've got a diverse cast, so we need to have the Jewish guy, we need to have the Muslim, we need to have the half Indian girl, we need to have... Did you feel... because I felt a little bit like, it just feels like you're just ticking boxes at that point.
Yeah, I sort of felt that they just needed a single one of like each sort of major archetype for these type of shows, just going like, oh, we've got the pretty one who everyone underestimates. That's a different show, I think.
You're thinking of Grey's Anatomy or House.
Yeah, yep.
That's the trouble when you record two in the same night. You get confused.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's probably true here. I just can't think of which characters.
No, I'm pretty... There's the hunting girl, the girl who's like the award-winning hunter with her dad. And she's like, your classic blonde, nails, high heels, but she's like a badass with a gun. Do you remember that? There's a scene on the firing range. I hope that's this show. I don't think that's Grey's Anatomy.
No, it is. That would be a very... just a shooting range set up on top of the hospital. But no, it was just... That's maybe the problem, that a lot of the characters are just that forgettable that I was like, I can't be bothered. I couldn't get invested in any of them.
No.
This show would probably be better if they didn't have... like, genuinely, without the flash forwards and the flashbacks and stuff, just show me some agents going through training.
Yeah.
That might actually be quite good.
Yeah, I think so. What is Quantico, actually? It's the name of the place, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just wondered with the quant. I just wondered if that was like... because the stem of that's like, quantum, something to do with time. I just wondered if maybe that's That's
It's
the reason
actually
why.
it's secretly a time travel show.
This is actually a massive, just one episode of Timeless.
Yeah, because Quantico gets mentioned in other stuff as like the FBI training facility. So
Yeah.
I mean I could verify it by just googling it, but I'm not going to. But no, I feel like it had a lot of potential. It just
just didn't quite deliver.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like, I guess a lot of shows there has to be something interesting that makes them stand out. But I think flash forwarding to a terrorist attack is it's a bold move, especially for the pilot as well.
Yeah.
Sort of be like, cool, this is where we're going. It's like, okay, well, I don't care. Because, I don't know, a terrorist attack seems like too big an event for the trainees to matter. Apart from the fact that one of them did it.
But even
Their actual story is irrelevant to that.
It really annoyed me that they arrested her, because it was like, but it's just so fucking obvious that it's not her.
Yeah. But then, I don't know, I feel like, I don't know. What would have been better is if they'd left, like, there was a group of 4 of them that were all taken in at the same time, and between
it was
them,
one of
they
them.
were figuring it out.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I don't know. I just didn't care. It just didn't. You know, some of them just bounce off you, don't they? And this one really did.
I think this is a show that would definitely be better for having something like an unreliable narrator. Just one of the characters is just super unreliable and just always shady. But I mean, it does because it doesn't necessarily have a narrator. So, well, actually, no, it's mostly her point of view. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there was just nothing in it that made me sort of go, I'm gonna watch a lot of this.
No, as soon as it finished, I was like, well, that's that. Another one done. Won't be watching that again. Yeah. On the other hand,
I'm just gonna read them. I think because you literally just sent me a message saying like, How to Get Away with Murder might be one of the best shows we've done.
it's absolutely one of the best pilots we've covered. Like if this
Annoyingly, I'd watched this before we even talked about doing this podcast.
Oh really?
Yeah, so I added it to be like you should watch this.
If this isn't
As I do.
If this isn't in my top 5 at the end of the year, it will have been a very, very good year of pilots.
Which is bold for show 4.
Yeah, no, it's great. If it is, then if it's not, I'm going to be really happy, basically, because this was so good that means there's going to be 5 other shows that I like more.
That would be 2 top 5s in a row that are headed or contain at least one character from Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls holding all of them.
This
so
is
just having Bonnie.
This is a problem with having the girl who plays Paris in anything else. Is I just can't see her as anything other than Paris, and she just looks like she's dressed up in her mum's clothes to me. I just can't help that.
I saw this before I watched Gilmore Girls. So I was watching like the first few episodes of Gilmore Girls, like I fucking recognise it.
Okay, so How to Get Away with Murder is about a bunch of students who are all taking criminal law at Middleton University, and their professor is a lady called Annalise Keating, who is possibly one of my favourite characters in all of fiction ever, because she is a fucking hard-nosed bastard of a teacher. She doesn't take any shit. And at the start of their class, she says, right, basically, here's what's going on. This is a case that I'm actually working on now. The top 4 students who can help me sort out what's going on here, you will actually get to work with me on real-life cases. at the same time this happens, we are shown 3 months in advance where a group of 5, I think it's 5 of them, isn't it? Or is it 4? Anyway, yeah, okay, the group of 4 of them, 4 students are trying to, it looks like they're trying to get rid of a body, and it's on the night of a big bonfire at the school. There's people everywhere, and they are, well, you first see them in a house somewhere, and one of them has a trophy and it's covered in blood, and it looks, to all intents and purposes, like there has been a murder that they're responsible for. So it switches between, in the pilot anyway, is what it switches between is the 4 students trying to sort of figure out what's going on and coming up with different ways to get different pieces of evidence to discredit the defence and such like, and flip-flopping between that and this unfolding murder cover-up.
Yeah. Interestingly, that the flash forward, the 3 months, that puts you at, I think it's like episode 9.
Oh, so that you do see that.
It's not the very end of the season.
Oh, okay.
So it puts you to episode 9 of 15. So then you have another 6 episodes after that.
Yeah.
I get, which is just, I think, just the fallout of it. But I can't actually remember where you find out who did it. Because the hardest thing for me is knowing who did it.
Yeah, I'm sure, because at this point I've got that to look forward to. But I just fucking loved this. I text you straight away, just saying this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Viola Davis is amazing in this.
Yeah.
She is,
and the thing
absolutely
is,
incredible.
Genuinely, this show just gets stronger. I think maybe it's on because it's just started. Season 4's just started airing. So 2 of the 3 seasons, the 4 seasons I've watched, 2 is the weakest, but 1 and 3 are so good.
Yeah, you're the second person that's told me that actually, that they get better as it goes on.
I think season 2, while it's still very good, it's just, I don't know, I think some of the crime stuff gets a bit lost.
Okay, so does this from here on, does it turn into a sort of a case of the week sort of thing, and interspersed with them dealing with the body?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So it's sort of, I think there are some that sort of do 2 or 3, like a couple of episodes, I think. So I think, yeah, some of the cases I think last a couple of episodes, and some of them don't, pretty much.
Yeah.
But then I think the further on you get, the less about those cases it is, and more about them sort of being like, there's a murderer. Because what I like is that very quickly it sets up the fact that the show isn't just about people getting away with one murder. They'll be getting away with 2 murders. Because there's the obvious flash forward murder and the missing poster murder.
Yeah, Lila Stangard, I remember that.
Yeah. Because right at the end they find her in the big water tower thing.
Yeah.
And do you know, I nearly just started watching this again.
Yeah,
honestly. First episode, then we're just like, maybe just another 6 or 7, that would be fine.
This is the thing, I watched this with Lisa, and I was like, right, I've got a few things, this was on Saturday, I was like, I've got a few things to get through in order to do the podcast, because we've got a bit of a window where we can get a load done. And honestly, it took everything for us not to just flick over and just carry on, and I had to watch this fucking bullshit Quantico instead. But one of the best, well, in terms of filmmaking and storytelling through the screen, one of the most important rules is show me, not tell me. And I remember thinking that the show manages to do this in a couple of really brilliant ways. So there's a scene where Wes, who's Dean Thomas, who's our main guy,
who's the reason I watched this show.
he breaks in, doesn't he? He gets into Annalise's house, and she's in there with another gentleman.
Detective Nate Leahy.
That's it. And then later on, she introduces completely different bloke to him as her husband. So without her saying, "Yes, I am having an affair," you're shown straight away that she's having an affair. And another way that it does it, it sets it up like that, is the fact that when you first see the body, there's a bloodied statue, and I wasn't sure what it was because it was dark and there's rain all over the camera and everything. And then when they go into her house to discuss the case, you can see really prominently this trophy, and I think she even makes a gesture to it, or she says, you get to win this.
Yeah.
So
she
you
says
know
exactly
that
she says the top student.
That's
gets
it.
This.
So I think it's because where Quantico, there's a large section of Quantico where Alex is saying, "Oh, okay, basically, this is my past," and discusses what happened between her parents and why she wanted to get into the FBI, and it's just a conversation she's having with another character. But in this, there's not really anything like that. It's just you see it and you piece it together yourself. So I think it treats its audience as intelligent, which is a really good thing.
Yeah. And the thing that I like is I remember sitting and watching it and being making assumptions. Like every time a fucking character is handed that trophy, I'm like, "You fucking did it."
Yeah.
You're the murderer. And I was like, wait, but people can steal stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're clearly okay with murder, so probably
Not going to be
like
too
people,
fussy. Yeah.
probably fine.
I was really, really pleasantly surprised and delighted with how much I liked this show.
What you need to do is, if there's something that I say I've watched a lot of that gets added to the podcast, just assume that it's good.
Fuck off. We did Arrow. You can get fucked.
Okay, Arrow might be an exception.
The Flash.
Clearly, you just don't like DC TV.
Supergirl. Well,
That's DC TV.
yeah, I mean, I don't like the Marvel TV stuff either particularly. I thought, first series of Daredevil was alright, but second series I dropped off. I didn't finish Jessica Jones. No, I haven't. Not at all.
Okay, so aside, comic book shows aside, anything else, like, I'm sound. I know my shit. And also, I'm learning a lot more about what makes a good TV show just from doing this podcast.
Yeah, maybe we should make one.
What, a TV show?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Shall it just be like a comedy? We'll throw in some flash forwards to
a murder
way in the future.
I tell you what we'll base it on is we'll take the top. We'll do this for 5 years, and then we'll take the top 5 shows and then amalgamate it all into one big TV show. Push it through the sausage maker.
I don't know if that would be.
Of course, it would be good. Yeah, there's not a lot more I can say. It's fantastic, this show.
Yeah, what I like is there's a moment towards the end of the episode where Sam, who is actually Annalise's husband, and Annalise they're sitting watching the news report about them finding the body of Poster Girl.
Yeah.
And there's just this look that she gives him that's just like, I know. Like, she just looks at him as if to say, "Did you fucking do that?"
Oh god, yeah, I didn't read it like that at all.
Well, because it's that sort of look that says she's not just a student. But then, because it's clearly a murder case.
Do you know what? I hadn't pieced that together because I was concentrating on her because I thought that look between them was her admitting her guilt silently, saying like, "Oh, I know I'm having an affair."
It could be either way. It could be a look of anything. It could be a look of her saying, "I think you were having an affair with that student."
Yeah.
It could be, "I know you were having an affair with that student, so I killed her."
Yeah.
Or it could be just a, "Fuck, maybe I shouldn't have my own affair."
Oh my god, I hadn't even considered. Oh, I'm desperate to watch it now. I'm absolutely desperate.
that's the thing, and it raised for me when I first watched the show. I've done a lot of this, having to sort of go, right, what did I think the very first time that I watched the show? But all throughout the flash forwards, because it's obviously that happened with the trophy, it looks like the murder took place in Keating's house.
Yeah.
And then at the end it's revealed that it's Sam who was murdered.
Yes.
So those three things made me just sort of go, is Annalise involved? Is this extra credit?
This is just a really out of hand homework assignment.
Yeah. And it's just like, but what I like is that it sort of implies that because they become like the Keating Five, and they're the ones who are like always around her, so it's those four and Asher, who I think Asher has some quite good stories coming up.
Uh-huh.
But it's almost as if that she takes them and destroys their, like, what they started as, and sort of corrupts them into her sort of ruthless, win at any cost sort of thing. But I think my favourite moment of the whole episode is when, what's his name? Connor, when they're in the car in the flash forward, and he's just singing Christmas carols.
Oh my god, that was irritating.
I enjoyed it quite a lot, because I was just like, that's so just dark.
Because that's exactly what you'd be doing after we'd killed someone. Just singing.
It's exactly what I was doing.
No.
End the podcast.
One thing I didn't like is that Wesley's neighbour starts playing some music quite loud, and he's getting annoyed at it. And it happens to be Yellow Wolf, who happens to be one of our favourite artists. And then in a later scene, he has a go at her about it. He's like, oh, you seem nice. I didn't think that if you listened to that music, you could be nice. I was like, hang on! Don't go throwing stones. Fucking Dean Thomas didn't even pass Hogwarts. Yeah, well, yeah, so I've heard. No, she seems cool. I think she's probably going to be alright. I mean, I don't like her boyfriend, but she was alright.
That's the boyfriend of Poster Girl. I mean, I know she has a name, but like...
I think, is it Lila? Lila? I don't know how to pronounce it.
One of those few things.
Yeah.
But, no, it's... Like, the thing, it was one of those shows that I was just sort of like... I watched the first episode... Because I started watching it when season 1 had finished airing. So I was sat and I watched, I think, like 3 or 4 episodes, and then just went, okay, I have to go to work tomorrow, turn this off. Got home from work the next day and just went, right, I'm not doing anything else until I finish this. I think, yeah, I watched the whole first season in like 2 days. But is this another show that you and Lisa are going to have to find time to watch?
Do you know what's annoying is I think it might be. And I don't want it to be, because I want to just fucking watch it. I might just watch it and tell her that I haven't.
I didn't know.
Oh wait, we were supposed to save it. Oh shit.
Oh well, I could watch it again. But yeah, it's probably good. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. One of the best ones we've ever done.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you make of like. Okay, at some point, once you've finished watching it, we'll have a catch up on the podcast and see what you thought of the first season.
Yeah.
Or we'll just do like the weekly check-in on how you're getting on.
Oh, would you like the update, by the way?
Yep.
Okay.
How many Gilmore Girls have you watched?
I'm just checking on my Netflix because I can't quite remember. I think we're getting to the halfway point of. No, we're not. We're on episode 5 of series 5, which is what's going on at the minute. Luke and Lorelai are together, which is brilliant.
Yep, you've sent me several messages about that.
Yeah, a lot of them just go like, fucking yeah! I can't remember where else this happened. Oh, Richard and Emily are split up, but he's living in the pool house, which is fucking weird. And Rory's shagging Dean, which I'm less happy about.
Yeah, I wasn't overly happy about that.
It was annoying because when Jess was back in it and he was like, "Come with me," I was like, "No, that's not what she's not gonna want to do that. Like, you need to rethink your strategy." But
Yeah, the problem is Jess, while smart, is an idiot.
Yep.
Dean, while dumb, is lovable.
No.
And very good at killing monsters. But
we're doing that this series, aren't we? Aren't we?
yeah, it's somewhere in here.
It's not that far away, is it? Oh no, it's
my main problem with Dean is
September.
the fact that, like, Dean and Rory I'd be fine with it if he wasn't married.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't be fine with it because it's not Jess. But it would be better if he were not married.
To be fair, I don't think you've even met my top boy yet.
Logan.
Yeah,
he's been in one scene, and honestly, because obviously I don't know any of this, but we watched it, and she had a chat with him, and he was like bantering back and forth, and he left, and I looked at Lisa and went, "That's him, innit? That's the next one."
Top boy.
Because he's just the male version of Rory, and somehow we've gone from talking about How to Get Away with Murder and Quantico, and we're back on Gilmore Girls.
Because we're having the catch up.
All roads lead to Gilmore Girls.
Oh yeah, 10 years link. Lisa Barr's in it, so yeah.
Yeah, that'll do. She's in both. That's fine. Yeah, I think that's all I've got on How to Get Away with Murder. Anyway.
So, are you going to continue watching it? Is the real question.
Abso-fucking-lutely. It's one of the best shows we've done, so of course I'm going to carry on with it. I don't know when. I'm going to
continue watching season 4.
Wicked. Alright, cool. So that was, one duff one solid one. Let's see what happens next episode.
So to clarify, neither of us are going to keep watching Quantico.
No, fuck it.
We've made that very clear.
Even if Russell Tovey is going to turn up, and I do like that boy, but nah. Sorry. So yeah, okay. Well, I think that's it for episode 2. Next episode, which for you is going to be 2 weeks apart, or if not longer. For us, it's going to be a matter of the length of time it takes for us to go to our respective shops and get a drink, I think. Yep. And then we'll carry out. We'll do Grey's Anatomy and House.
Yep.
And that should be a laugh. It won't be a laugh.
Yeah, probably not.
Cool.
It's all very serious.
If you do want to get in touch with us, there's various ways. Just search for Real Co-Pilots Podcast on all various social medias. Send us a message. Give us an email. Send us a dick pic. Anything you like. And it would be nice to get a bit of feedback, wouldn't it? A few responses that we could, discuss on the show. So I think we'll try and push that, shall we?
Yeah.
So that includes you. If
recommendations for shows.
I mean, we could struggle to. If they're good, we could swap out some later ones for them. If they're not, we'll put them on the list for Series 4.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I think we've still got a list of shows that just don't fit with anything. So there's always a list of shows that are ready to be swapped in.
Yep, I'm looking at them now. And from Series 1, The League of Gentlemen and Spaced have been on there. So I'm desperate for something because I love both of those shows. But I don't know what you'd pair League of Gentlemen with. Unless it was like Garth Marenghi's Dark Place or something. Inside Number 9? Oh, we've done that. Fuck.
Yeah, this is the problem. Because some of these shows would have been perfect to go with something we've already done.
Yeah. Yeah. So that will do for today's episode, I think. So please get in touch.
Basically, tweet us.
If you're in Japan, you get bonus points, and we'll guarantee that we'll read it out if you say you're in Japan.
Why don't you just say Mike and Zara?
Yeah. Or if you're in rugby, because I think Jack followed us on the social medias the other day on Insta. I saw him doing something with our account anyway. So yeah, please get in touch. Have fun. Stay safe. And we'll see you in hospital next time. Bye!